Hey guys! So if you saw my art haul video last week, you would know that I got baby oil. And if you read the comments on that video, I posted saying that it did not work, and it didn't work in a very specific way, in that it didn't work on regular computer paper. Here are two of my tests, and it's really difficult to tell, but it just soaked the paper in oil, and it's see-through, and it was just really bad. It's basically better to use this stuff on heavier, really heavy cardstock. I have not personally tried it because I don't own really heavy cardstock, but apparently it's only also good for one layer, like you can't go back on top of it. So not good. I don't like that. I also really like using computer paper because I'm really cheap. So I tried to find other ways, and I heard that alcohol is actually a nice way to blend colored pencils. So I tried it out, and lo and behold, these other two examples, it worked, and I could actually go back on top of it. So I'm going to do a little bit of a demonstration here just to show you guys real quick how it works and how I did it, and my pluses and minuses with it. So I'm going to go quick, lay down some color, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm using Prismacolor pencils and 91% alcohol and just normal computer paper. I have not tested this with other colored pencils, so if you have Crayola or Polychromos or something else, I have no idea what the results will be. I only know what it'll be with Prismacolor because that's all I have. One of the reasons why we want to use alcohol instead of a colorless blender is because a colorless blender, what it does is it burnishes the paper, and what that means is that it crushes the paper and flattens it. Paper has tooth, which is a texture, and if you crush the paper, it'll not only warp the paper, but it prevents further layering, and yeah, so not a very good idea to do it, and it could potentially ruin a drawing. So this is pretty much why you want to use something like alcohol. Okay, so I laid down a bunch of color, and this is kind of the important part, is with using the alcohol, you're going to want many layers before you actually use it. Now I'm going to be using Q-tips, and I'm just going to dip it into the bottle, whoop, right there, and I'm going to lay it down, and immediately you're probably going to notice my very first and main negative about this. So I got a little bit on the Q-tip. I'm just going to start laying it down. And it's probably hard to see on the camera just because it's really glaring, but it will dry and that will go away. But yeah, the colors are totally different than what you lay down. They're so much bolder and brighter, but that's really my only negative with this. This is super cheap. You can get this at any grocery store or like a CVS or something, like a pharmacy. It's not that expensive. I think this bottle that I got, it's I think it was like $5, and it's a ton. It's gonna last a while. Yeah, so the cheapness is there. You can use computer paper with it because it doesn't like bleed through really. I mean, it'll do a little bit. Like if you use computer paper with Copic markers, it's basically the same thing. But yeah, it fills in all the white space. It really blends it. Just the biggest downside is the color difference. And that's pretty much the only downside that I've found. Like once this dries, the paper is fine. It'll be a little bit warped just because this is computer paper, and it is taking in liquids like it's not supposed to. So it'll be a little warped, but I mean, just put a book over it and it'll be fine. But one of the things that I also really like about the alcohol is that I can take my colored pencils and I can go back over it and blend more, which is something that you cannot, from what I've heard of. Again, I didn't try it out because I don't have the paper for it. But you apparently can't do that with baby oil, but you can with the alcohol. So that's really important for me. The cheapness is really important for me. If you're cheap like me, this is perfect. Just really test out your colors to see what happens when you add alcohol. Like, don't have a drawing first and then just do the alcohol and be like, oh no, because it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, because the colors really do change. And that is the biggest negative that I can currently think of from my little experiments with it. Otherwise, I'm really happy with this. I'm really glad that I found this. Hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and feel free to comment below with ways that you blend your colored pencils, and maybe I'll try out other techniques. And if you do try this out, feel free to send it to me. I always like to see what people do with my tutorials, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! I just wanted a quick mention that you should not use your Copic markers or any sort of marker blender to do this, because look what happens to the Q-tips. They get color all over them, so you don't want to ruin your marker. So please don't use your blending markers. Try to use something else like Q-tips, because yeah, so that's it.